this voice debate, believe me, it's tough. It's divisive. You only have to watch the past couple of hours on this station to see some people see it as a real threat. Some people see it as really splitting the nation. So it's going to be very hard for Anthony Albanese, not to mention everybody else, to try and make sure that everything is kept civil and, in his word, united throughout this process.
I think there's a couple of things at play here, Chris, and the voice is certainly, chief among them, and not so much the concept itself. As Katie said, most fair-minded and reasonable Australians believe in recognition. I think that's my experience, certainly my view. It's the way that they have handled it. It is the moralising, it's the bullying, it is the shaming. You must be on the right side of history. If you want detail, you're a racist. All of this kind of rhetoric and underpinning sort of theme to the Yes campaign from the government's side, I think that has been hugely disappointing. It's the mark of a leader to be able to navigate the electorate through complex matters from a place of unity, not from a place of guilt, not to be, the parental figures with a massive stick saying you're the bad kid if you ask me questions, that kind of thing. That's the first thing my observation over this past 12 months would be. The second thing would be, as Katie said and as everybody's saying, cost of living. This government is acting like it doesn't ever see a day where it will be, where it will be thrown out of office. And look, you could make as many jokes about the Liberal Party and their current state of affairs as you like, but the bottom line is, it always has been about the economy, stupid, and it will always be about the economy, stupid. People are hurting. People are hurting in practical ways, day to day, cost of living. This government's comments on inflation, frankly, are ignorant. And they are dismissive of the pain of Middle Australia, the same Middle Australia that at the last election said, no thanks, coalition, we're going to give this mob a go. I wouldn't take them for the fool that this government is currently taking them from an economic perspective.
I wouldn't be talking about 10 years yet if I was Albo. I'll talk to a Labor figure later in the program, and my point of view that energy alone is going to create enormous trouble for Labor in the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
Before we go, I want to at least get your thoughts on this, Gemma, because I know it's something very close to your heart, and that is the latest revelations about brumbies being shot in the Snowy Mountains in the Kosciuszko National Park. Now, these are a feral animal, and there are thousands of them in the park. It's very difficult. As an old park ranger, I understand how difficult it is to manage, but when they go in and kill donkeys or goats or pigs in national parks, no one cares. But killing horses, wow, people really, really upset about this. Can it go on this way?
No, it can't. It can't go on this way. You've got snipers shooting pregnant mares and foals. You've got an absolutely indiscriminate behaviour on behalf of those doing this work. The thing that gets me the most, Chris, and you know me well, and I've been riding through this area many, many times since I moved to New South Wales, all of these overinflated numbers of thousands of 20,000 brumbies in Kosciuszko. I mean, trust me, if there were 20,000 brumbies up there, you'd be knee-deep in horse manure. It's the fact that there are groups and organisations who are able, willing and keen to rehome these animals, use them for domestic purposes. They make brilliant riding horses. It is not always possible, but in most cases it is. But the preference is to slaughter them. The preference is to send in gunmen, shoot them from helicopters, leave them to die if they don't kill them. And yeah, that includes mares and foals. So well done, well done.
We're going to hear more about this, no doubt. We'll come back to it. We're all out of time now. Thanks so much for joining us, Gemma Tognini and Katie Wolf. We'll catch you next week.